Your visitor has arrived.
I'm Virginia, your assessor. Over the next 7 days, you'll undergo close observation and formal testing to ascertain suitability for parenting. I want to get to know the real you.
Virginia.
Oh my God. I need to assess all aspects of your relationship.
The Assessment, directed by Flora Fortune, is a movie that takes place in the not-so-distant future, where the only way to have a child is through artificial wombs.
Introducing Ectolife, the world's first artificial womb facility.
Two people, Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Mia, and Himesh Patel, who plays Aryan, want to have a child. And in order to have their child, they have to have an assessment held by an assessor who is played by Alicia Vikander.
End of test.
Now, the assessor has to assess Mia and Aryan's relationship, their mental state, how they behave in certain situations, like there was a real child present.
Whoa! You shouted at me.
I did not.
Here's the thing that fascinated me about this movie, along with a list of many things, but one of the main things is Alicia Vikander. She is phenomenal in this movie because, like, there are scenes in this film where she pretends to be a child, but yet she's a grown woman acting like a child. Like, they even point this out in the film, like there's a party and then someone says, like, isn't she an adult?
Jesus. Welcome. This is our assessor.
You cannot behave like this if you want a child.
I want a real child, not this.
So Alicia Vikander, I think, is phenomenal at playing characters that are eccentric, that are just strange and weird and unorthodox. Like, she plays those parts to a T. Don't give her no normal characters, just give her some weird characters and she'll knock it out of the park. Now, Elizabeth Olsen in this movie, I feel, is extremely sexualized, but I think there is a point to that in this movie. And I see it because there are scenes in this film where Elizabeth Olsen, she shows up and, her breast, you can see her nipples. And there are scenes where, you see Alicia Vikander and you don't see her nipples. She looks like a nun, like she comes in there acting all strange, acting all weird, and she's dressed like a nun. And you have Elizabeth Olsen where her nipples all sticking out and everything. And I'm just like, okay. And it's consistent, it's constant. And there is definitely a point to that in the film. But there's also this trauma that Elizabeth Olsen's character is going through with her past and her mother. I don't think it's truly flushed out 100% in the film, but it's there and it's intriguing. Then you have Aryan, played by Himesh Patel, and he is a scientist, and he's trying to create artificial virtual reality where you can touch these things that are not real. They can come to life. And Aryan, to me, as a character, I mean, personally, he's just, he's a genius, he's a scientist, but yeah, at the end of the day, he's a guy, he does things with his penis.
Do you achieve regular climax? Yes. Every time?
The scenery, the set design, the lighting, even the editing in this film is spectacular. And the editing, I looked it up, it's by Yorgos Lampernos, I think his name is. And I mean, of course, the editing in here is phenomenal because this dude was nominated for an Academy Award for editing for that movie called The Father with Anthony Hopkins.
I truly believe, like, whether you want or you don't want to have kids, or like it's not the matter in a certain way, but I think, like, on many levels, like it will resonate within people, whether it's about environment, it's about like society, it's about like a couple already having kids or wanting to have kids. It's like there's many levels and layers in the film.
And the directing here from Flora Fortuny is hands down like just spectacular, because I mean, she started off as a music video director for a lot of big names, and you know, then she made a couple of short films, but this is her feature film debut, and it is spectacular. Like, it doesn't feel like a rookie doing this. Like, she knows what she's doing. Like, everything in here, everything, the set design, the visuals, like everything in here is just mwah.
I knew I didn't want to do like the obvious sci-fi, like white, minimal, very clinical. So I was more into like a 70s retrofuturism, but at the same time more grounded. So it feels like kind of, it could be our world, but it feels like slightly different.
I enjoyed this movie. I love this movie from beginning to end. I mean, the ending I feel kind of falls apart a little bit, but as a whole, it's still a phenomenal time. Everything, like literally everything, like performances, directing, editing, set design, costumes, visuals, just in the story, you know, everything is phenomenal about Flora Fortuny's The Assessment. And I also have to say that it's definitely one of those kinds of films, you know, that makes you think a little bit, you know, and it does go with that saying, you know, that all kids deserve parents, but not all parents deserve kids, because some people are just up in the head, and they should not be around children, and they should not have kids. And so, you know, but then who has the right to dictate that? You know, who has the right to have that kind of control over someone's life, you know? So I think the movie's a very intelligent movie, and I enjoyed it. I love this movie, man. I love this movie. That's all I have to say.
Personally, when I received the script, I had like been going through a whole process of trying to have kids for years, doing like IVF, like and so when I received the script, like that concept of having a couple, like going through so many absurd tests, which is the case when you try to have a kid and it's not working. Like, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I can relate to that.